to our first map. That's when we met Paul. It says senior management goes lean. That's when we decided, okay, we're in this and we're going to do this. This is going to start with the senior leadership. That's where it started with us. And our leadership group has changed over the years, the 6 years. And we knew going into it. It's one of the first things Paul said. He goes, you're not probably going to come out of this thing looking like you went into it. But it kind of took care of itself. So we met Paul. We learned from Paul that we wanted to start some classes to introduce everybody to 2-second lean, and we still do those classes today. So we have a 2-second lean class. All employees eventually will go through a 2-second lean class. Right now, Nick, Tom, and Steve have one going currently, and even Chris Wolf, I think, is on the tail end of it, if I'm not mistaken. And we track those. We track those classes. They tell us out weekly where they're at in it and what they're teaching. So we started 2-second lean classes. I did 2-second lean with all of my supervisory up in the shop. And then we continued that with the morning meeting in the very beginning with the other employees. Also, we did a lot of classes that were centered around lean. How to draw a pig. We came up with our own class, made the class and derived it from one we'd seen before called Tic-Tac-Flow, to teach flow. And so we still teach that. We keep up on that, and we were just discussing in my staff meeting last week, it's time to get caught up because we've hired a few people. I don't have a big employee turnaround, but when it does, you want to make sure they all stay in it. So Paul Akers, Fix What Bugs You was great. This was in 2014 that this map started. We had 1,500 videos at the time. Working off 1,500, we're realizing that our people were our only asset, that the employees' voices counted, and now we realize these were the tools that aligned with our mission statement, with our vision statement. Okay. So we decided to go on a quest of doing some Kaizen events. We knew that we had to find, at that time, we thought was a sensei. We quickly found out that it was a coach. The word sensei for lean is not accepted in Japan. Sensei is a very sacred word. It's for the best. It's like samurai sensei type thing. Lean coaches, they say, we're not senseis. Don't call me a sensei. So the whole Six Sigma, black belt, lean sensei thing was sweeping the U.S., and we thought that was the thing to do. We actually sent some people to Canada, the company, and got them black belt trained in lean, and came back and realized that was the biggest mistake we ever did for them and us, and they completely realized that's not what lean was. And that's kind of when we realized what we were doing was different than Six Sigma. Similar ideology, but different. So we found a sensei, we found a coach, we tried a couple out. We ended up with Brad. Brad was a great guy. He was a real joy guy. Do this, make it happy. And we decided that there was many things that we wanted to perform Kaizen in, and these were the Kaizen blitzes. So those pillars there represented what we wanted to attack that first year, 2014, after we found our sensei. Knowing that we would have some great tools, and we wanted to visualize the obstacles: ego, department walls, fear of change, fear of failure. And then we felt if we could get that, we would break through and start building momentum out of the back end. So we did all that. Believe it or not, we did those Kaizens in all those areas. Some of them have 2, 3, or 4 of them. We were actually taking this poster in the office over there by Nick's office, and we were actually marking the events on there. We're trudging forward. We're moving along. This is great. But there were some things we were picking up on the way that we didn't know when we started it, and that's what the new vision will show with it. We worked on our 8 weights. Everybody had to know what the 8 weights, backwards and forwards, put it in a story, do everything they could. But like you said, Rick, we realized knowing words and knowing how to apply those words is much deeper for TPS and for us. We knew that I had every staff meeting, my staff was my leadership group. They can do an 8-way story and apply it to their job in a heartbeat. But there was something that was missing, and that was the new stuff we've been starting to work on. So we went through, got to the end of it, had our perpetual bag on there, got past 2016, kind of running through the videos, doing those big Kaizen events. And then there was like an in-between then and now that we realized, oh, this is different. We got to find a new way to do this, you know. Leadership brought into it. Second, third level management leadership, they were getting the idea of it. The guys that report to me were like, okay, there's something here. They've done this for a couple of years now, and they haven't bailed on us, and they're still doing what they said they would do, and they're still learning. And you know, we read books, we were doing videos, we were going to Japan. We were, you know, the leadership group was like, we're all in here, and we had to be to get everybody else into it. So sometime between 2016 and last year is when we started hitting our momentum and we got out of that dip. Dip is that thing where you're down there in your pseudo lean. You know how to 5S. You know how to sing the 8-way story. You know what Mira, and Muda means. But how do you actually get to apply it? And that's when we decided, we came out of one of our leaders and said, you know, we got to do our mini Kaizens. We got to have different levels to attack our problems. We got to have big stuff, we have medium stuff, and we have little stuff. And so the little things we'll tackle on the floor. The medium stuff is we have a problem list and some quick hit things in our lean agenda for the leadership group that are kind of our parking lot items. And then we have our Kaizen events, which are big tackle things that could last 6 months to a year to take care of. Typically, every one of the leadership group, which is, I think we might be 12 strong now, we have 3 to 4 Kaizens a piece that we run weekly and dedicate time. You just seen one that I'm part of, went without me, and then there was another one you didn't see, the TPM one at 10:30 to 11:30 that tackles the whole total production maintenance thing, and that's the ending. We're going to do a report out on it in a few weeks in leadership group. We've been working on that one for almost 2 years, so they're not small. So we got together this last year and said, you know, people are asking, the posters ran out, we're doing things different. We did all the stuff that we thought we were going to do on there, and there was really a good script. So what's next, right? And so here we are, Walters and Wolf Vision 2020. Kind of runs us through 18 and 19, takes us out to 2020, a little bit bigger, so we're not so constricted. Brad teaches us Kaizen, so he passed on the baton. He taught us how to perform Kaizen, how to do the stuff that we hired him to do, and his whole intention was, I don't want to do this for the rest of your life. I want to teach you to do it and have you self-sustainable, and you guys learn how to do it. So he did a great job. Our Lean Journey house got a little more built up. We realized we didn't have a foundation for it, so Jidoka, built-in quality, show your back, Shingo, customers are our base. We decided if it wasn't for the customers, we would have nothing to do and nothing to improve upon, and create flow. Easy processes. We must create flow everywhere. We must have a production system, and not meaning a shop production system, a company production system, a system to get from our customers' needs to our customers receiving in the best fashionable, safest way we could. Shingo came into the picture during that time, spent there. Our 40th anniversary was last year. We wanted to identify that. At this time we were at more than 5,000 videos and still accumulating. Paul taught us how to banish sloppiness. It was a big thing for him this last year. Really set in with us that sloppiness is like the root cause to waste and non-value added to your customers. We realized we need to be better at PDCA. So the dimming cycle, undo, check, adjust. That's what our goals this year as a management group, PDCA what we've already done. Let's go back and get that. Let's learn PDCA. You heard me talk about 10-minute units. So we did 10-minute units back here. Well, now it's 10-minute units company-wide. That's a figure of speech. It's really tapped. A customer could be anywhere from a 20-minute unit to a 5-minute unit. But the basis was the first time I left Japan, and I was there with Tom, and we got on the bus after going to the dojo, is I said, Tom, 10-minute units. And he's like, yeah, 10-minute units. So everything was based on taking a 10-minute unit, a unit off every 10 minutes, in which, like I said, we were anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes a unit coming off at the time. So unified problem solving, teamwork, know your costs, PDCA, 10-minute units. Heard Nick talk a little bit about this. Source management is huge. Don't root cause the problem where the problem exists. Root cause and fix the problem where it was sourced at. Go to the very beginning. Catch that water when it's a trickle off the end of a leaf and fix it. Teach our people, go to the Gemba. The Gemba never lies. You've seen the Kaizen events and everything we have. Get it in as much as the Gemba. We have this nice KPO office up here. Yeah, we get together up there. We have meetings and we have Kaizen events, but the real problem solving and standards are created in the workplace by the people that do the work. We learn that. As I said, standards and best practices. There's a lot of best practices out there. The problem is there's 10 people doing the same thing and have 10 different best practices. Get those people together and get the best practice for that. Standardize it and then move on from there. What is our North Star? Our North Star is quality. Pinpoint accuracy, 0 defects, quality people, quality leadership, quality processes, fall in love with precision, quality teamwork, create quality of life, create some balance. Everything that we're working towards so we can have quality when you think about it. So why cut, shortcut quality in another area or doing something different because it can be to strive for quality in somewhere else? Why can't it all just be about quality? If it's all about quality, you're naturally going to improve, you're naturally going to Kaizen, you're naturally going to get better. And guess what? People are naturally going to be happy. Reinforce and sustain and improve our production system. That's the thing we're working on. It's like PDCA this year, get that production system pumping. We want to be ready. When that next downturn comes, we want to be the ones standing tall with our heads out of the clouds, knowing what needs to be done to stay healthy for employees, for our customers, and for ourselves, right? Got that ego in there again. That ego's been taking people out. If we have an ego here, you will not last long at all, especially if you're a leader. If you're not a humble leader around here, you won't be a leader for long, right? I know that. It's a real tough thing. You really you've got to just humble yourself down and bring yourself down to where you're understanding it. It's like things aren't perfect just because you want them to be. You've got to help people, help them make it perfect. Serving leader, that's what it's about, serving. Lots of hard work. We're a little more diverse now than we were. We've got some different ethnics and genders mixed in there, right? We learned from the last one. So yes, women and men and different races and different lifestyles. We live in a Bay Area. If you're not okay with it, you're not going to be in the Bay Area. So yes, that is part of it. Keep moving more current day, Paul did Iron Man. I think he might have done 2 now.
Done 2.
And there he is, right? And he's telling us this is what you got to do. This is the way to quality. It's over the horizon. We got our 3 M's in there. We used to focus just on Muda. Nobody knew what Muda is. Now, Mura is my gospel. With Muri and Muda is a byproduct. And so every one of my people out there, they're hearing me speak the 3 M's and they're understanding how this affects. So not just the application of the 8 ways and knowing those words and how to apply them. We're moving into the Muda, Muri, and Mura. How do those apply to what we're doing, right? How does unevenness cause you to be overburdened? How does it force waste into your life? We hate variation as humans. We hate variations. We hate surprises. There's a very few that will get bored with the flat line, but you know what? Come in day in and day out. We're a routine people. The difference is we all just have different routines. And we got to try to figure out how to get a routine together. That's the thing, especially at work. All of you got to row at the same time. Boys in the Boat. Read that book if you haven't read it. Boys in the Boat. Our perpetual bag. We will execute every aspect of each of our projects with pinpoint accuracy using an innovative and disciplined approach. That's been for over 10 years we've had that before we knew what lean was.
That's on the original.
Yeah. Purpose, a company of opportunity where the drive to be the best challenges to constantly improve together. That was as well. all part of that. So we're going out, and our opportunity in the future, obviously, that thing we're striving for the employee side of it is professional development, fun, success, and growth. 2018, 2020, a lot of work to do in between there, and then, when we get to the end of that, we're gonna say, because it'll change on us, we'll say, okay, now what? We've evolved into this. What did we evolve into, and what do we wanna keep working on, right? So, I don't know how many more, if we do a poster every 3 years, I've got maybe 3 or 4 posters left in my working time, so I'm kind of interested to see how that's all gonna work out, but it won't be boring, I promise you, right? So, that's kind of our two posters, that's how they ended up where they're at now, and we'll see where it goes. And one thing they've been to us is they've been true and truthful.